So today we're going to be talking a little bit about women's college basketball because the season's starting tomorrow, and it is quite interesting because there are already, there are players that some people have kind of given up on. There are players that some people are overhyped on. I do think the overhyping of JuJu compared to Paige is crazy. I do think Paige is still the better player, but at this point anyway, maybe JuJu will be better, but this time it's Paige. But one player everyone's forgetting about is Hailey Van Lith. If you guys agree with this, subscribe. We're 14 subscribers off 38.4k, and we're trying to hit that by the end of the day. So anyway, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this. And look, I don't get why we looked at the ESPN list that showed their top 25 players. No Van Lith in sight. We were looking at the mock drafts. First, second, and third round. No Hailey Van Lith in sight. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't really get it. She wasn't that bad at Louisville last year. She wasn't great. 11 points per game. The team, maybe weren't as expected. Was she as good as Flaugier? No. Was she as good as Angel Reese and Issa Morrow? Those type of players that were in the squad? No. She might have been arguably their worst starter at times, but all their starters are going to be in the league. It was a starting five of Van Lith and a bunch of first-round picks. So, I don't really understand it. Her going to TCU is a good choice, because TCU are not a bad team. Sedona Prince, assuming she plays, assuming there's no, some of the off-the-court stuff doesn't really affect her, because obviously she can hoop, but they're obviously trying to, get her kicked off the team. If that happens, obviously, again, I don't know what's going on. There's no point for me anyway speaking on any of this stuff that I don't know about. But assuming she plays, she's a baller. And I think TCU might end up going and they might F around and make the tournament. And if you make the tournament, it helps. One big game and she'll be back fine. And still, she made a horrible decision. Van Lith made a horrible, horrible decision for going into her fourth year of college. She obviously got her undergrad at Louisville, got a postgrad at LSU, and is going for another postgrad. She made a horrible decision to join LSU. But Hailey Van Lith's stats were exceptional at Louisville. They were exceptional. And the problem is that we've seen that she's not a point guard. And that's the only flaw, is that she's 5'8". She's a 5'8" two guard. And if you're looking at her in her junior year, she averaged 20 a game. And this team got to the Elite Eight. They ran Iowa close. And that was, again, Iowa had Sinano that year. It was the year Iowa beat South Carolina. She ran Iowa close as by far Louisville's best player. She made a dumb decision to leave Louisville. And obviously, in hindsight, that stopped her from she was projected to be a first-round lottery pick and then ended up having to go back for a fifth year. But we saw with Team USA at the Olympics, she was the best player for Team USA. Yeah, they got a bronze, but she still played. I know it's 3x3. She still played at the Olympics, got a bronze medal as a college player. I don't think I think she's going to come in and average 20. She's going to come in and average 20 for TCU. If she can average 20 for a really good Louisville team, she can average 20 for TCU. It's not like she's gotten worse at basketball. And that's something everyone's oh yeah, she's just she's regressed as a player. No, she hasn't. She hasn't. It's not like she forgot how to play basketball. She just didn't fit in a system. And that's fine. She didn't fit at Louisville. She wasn't good at Louisville. She's not a point guard. But she can get buckets on literally anybody. And that includes WNBA players. If you put Hailey Van Lith in the W right now, she could get some buckets. It's just whether or not you want a 5'6" shot chucker on your team. So I don't really foresee Hailey Van Lith having this super long WNBA career. But the archetype of player that she realistically is she is a Kelsey Mitchell type player. She's not Kelsey Mitchell good. Don't quote me as saying she's Kelsey Mitchell. But she is a Kelsey Mitchell type, Kelsey Plum type player who obviously is an extremely hard worker. I don't see a scenario where she falls, like where she has a bad year and doesn't get drafted. I don't see a scenario where she's not in the running for an All-American. Because at the same time, we are looking at Hailey Van Lith, a basketball player that was seen as coming into college as an equal to Caitlin Clark. She was seen as arguably the second best guard after Paige Bueckers coming into college. And like, you don't make 2 first-team All-ACCs. You're not like in Louisville. Was she an All? I'm surprised she wasn't an All-American. But sorry, no, she was an All-American honorable mention. She was an All-American honorable mention as a junior and a sophomore. So you're looking at a player that has had one off year. And other than that one off year, was incredible in college. And even last year, she wasn't that bad at Louisville. What did she average? Like, she didn't play the point guard the greatest. She was left for dead against Caitlin Clark. And to say, like, oh, it was her fault Caitlin Clark had 41. I'm sorry. It was Kim Mulkey's fault for putting the 5'7" defender on Caitlin Clark. Blame Kim Mulkey for that one. But, yeah, like, she started every game at Louisville. Still shot not the greatest percent, under 40 and 34 from 3. Averaging 12 a game. Averaged 12 and 4. She wasn't that bad. And she was not bad enough to go from first round pick to coming back for a 5th year and everybody's talking about her as if she's a non-factor. Like, that she doesn't make any difference, that it's automatic that she's done, she's given up, she's the new Cavander twin, and there's no point talking about her like she's a W prospect. No, Hailey Van Lith's going to be one of the best players in college basketball. She's a fun player to watch. She balled out over the summer for Team USA. I know it was in 3-on-3, but she still was the best player on a team that included Ryan Howard and plays the same position as Ryan Howard. She can score, she can drive, she can pull up. I still don't get why she's been slept on this much. Is she going to be the best player in women's college basketball? No. Is she going to be a first-round draft pick? Highly unlikely. But if she can get TCU back to the tournament, win a round or two, average 21, 22 a game, which is what I would expect from her, to be honest, you're then now looking at a player that is going to be a second-round pick, get first-round shouts, and an All-American in college. Like, that's realistically the level she's at. But after seeing the ESPN article that did not have Hailey Van Lith in the top 25, that's wild. That is absolutely wild for me. But anyway, see you guys.